Hey guys, it's 21 Maxwell here, and welcome to the go home shows for Raw and SmackDown as we head to WrestleMania 19. Hopefully, two stellar shows here that really puts us into WrestleMania mode and really will give us the best show possible for Mania 19. As always, thank you as always for watching, it's deeply appreciated. So I hope you're enjoying the series. It is something a little bit different. As I say, going a bit retro, a lot of my saves have always been more modern day. But it's something, as I say, hopefully we get a good run at it, and especially after WrestleMania, we'll probably switch the brands over a little bit. We'll seek to change the course of history and how it was. So again, thanks for watching, it's deeply appreciated. Any predictions, we'll leave the Mania cards. The Raw side will be after the Raw portion of the show, SmackDown after the SmackDown portion. If you let us know your predictions for WrestleMania, who you think is going to come out on top in each match, see who does the best. And as always, in the comments, just in TEW in general, how your own saves are getting on, how you are finding it, what mods you are using these days, and if you have booked this particular mod, what's now your Mania went. And as always, any likes, shares, subscriptions, all that jazz are deeply appreciated, and might support other bookers out there that are on the Grey Dog Software forums, because some of them will be written, some of them will be verbal, and of course the good old crew over at the Fantasy Bookers subreddit. So we really need a strong Raw and then a strong SmackDown to get us into WrestleMania mode. And what better way to start a show here in Hawaii at the Stan Sheriff Centre than to hype up our main event segment, which is going to be contract signing, the match between Stone Cold and The Rock, with none other than our user character, Vince McMahon. You know, a guy that's had such a big say in the history of Austin, and The Rock, you know, helping, well, basically being the biggest rival for Steve Austin as he developed the Stone Cold character, and of course as corporate champion at the time, The Rock. So big segment there, A90 to hype the show off, gets the show off to a strong start, gets the crowd hotter, the final battle, whilst gaining advancement in its storyline, does lose a little bit of heat. We start off nice and simple, getting Evolution over. Triple H, Batista, Ric Flair, Randy Orton cutting a promo, talking about how Triple H will retain his championship against Shawn Michaels, hyping up the main event match that I've got planned for tonight. I think it's a 10-man tag 5v5. Randy Orton and Batista getting ready for their matchup against Booker T and Goldust at WrestleMania. And Ric Flair, well, he'll just be fulfilling a managerial role at that event. Might even make it 3-on-2 actually. Still to decide on that one. But overall, a decent promo. Angle got the crowd hotter, and a B+83 was the rating. Anything again to help develop the characters and the overness of Batista and Randy Orton. Opening contest had a decent matchup. It saw Bubba Ray Dudley defeat Rosie in 850 with a Bubba Bomb. D-71, Rico doing some good work at ringside as, of course, Rosie's manager. Tag team storyline advances Bubba with a better performance, and it gives them some momentum going into WrestleMania. Of course, it is going to be a triple threat match for the tag team championships. The Dudleys, 3-minute warning, and the champions Lance Storm and William Regal. After this, William Regal's in action as he takes on Devon. Another decent matchup, see Regal win by underhanded tactics in 12:28. B79 saw a much better match here, probably because of the better in-ring performance of both guys. But continuing this storyline, and no real team has a clear advantage at this moment going in to WrestleMania. So a couple of improvements there for skills, which is good to see. Only negative, the poor momentum and the chemistry of Devon Dudley. Next up, which is a heated confrontation between Goldust and Randy Orton. These two have been at it for weeks now, ever since Goldust's former wife, Terry Reynolds, has been flirting with Randy Orton, of course the younger member of Evolution, and as I say, any chance these two have got, they've been at each other's throats. So a C63 rating here. After this we have a six-person tag, poor matchup. And it saw Trish Stratus, Tommy Dreamer and the Hurricane defeat Victoria, Steven Richards and Rico in 10:17 when Tommy Dreamer defeats Rico with a Dreamer DDT. A C62. This could potentially have ruined WrestleMania plans. I was going to go Trish, Victoria and Jazz for the Women's Championship. This fracture that Trish has sustained, we'll have to check after the show. That may rule her out of WrestleMania, so that is quite worrying. Overall, Trish the best performance there, most over athlete, but we need more depth in the women's division in both of them. And that will come over time. As I say, there's a few in developmental. I didn't want to sign too many people too soon to take it away from, I want it to be semi-realistic, so there probably will be a case after Mania where you'll maybe see some indie wrestlers, both male and female, progressing up to WWE, but people in development will get that call first. So, as I say, La Resistance, etc., will get the call before any indie talents. And Rico got the botch. So he's at the backstage heat. So I booked the match after it. We'll need to see obviously Trish's injury, but C+66 for Eric Bischoff announcing that match. So to be determined, I might need to push someone else into that spotlight. Next up, with a decent matchup, Mark Henry defeats Test in 8:29 by pinfall. Basic match, getting the world's strongest man over, keeping him dominant. C63, he's got the lesser performance there, but we need to try and improve him. It's going to be a long project, this, because his skills were very poor, admittedly in 2003, good while before he got better. Storytelling match, negative crowd reaction for Test, but then again, poor psychology, stamina, low morale, everything for Mark Henry. I think he could be someone that does see a move to SmackDown post WrestleMania. Next up, with an exceptional matchup though, we had Kane defeat Chris Jericho in 11:02 by pinfall with a tombstone piledriver. This was following a distraction from the returning Diamond Dallas Page. I felt like we needed a bit more depth on Raw, a bit more star quality to help, as I say, when it gets to like say getting Batista, Randy Orton, Christian, etc. to that next level. And I feel DDP was someone probably didn't get the fair crack of the whip at WWE, and obviously in hindsight with the stuff he's done, helping, like Scott Hall, Jake Snake Roberts, just to name two, he's done great things, great relationship with WWE these days, so I feel like he's someone give an opportunity to. But B81, no storyline to it, but as I say, two good performances and done the job in that. This is because Eric Bischoff has decided that we will have a 5-person match at WrestleMania. I might make it a ladder match. I know I don't particularly like doing gimmicky matches because it hampers the match rating, but sometimes you just have to for storyline sense. There'll be a 5-way anyway at WrestleMania, and it's going to be for the returning Intercontinental Championship. Now, I know in real life it was a bit more time before the title came back, but I need mid-card titles. US titles come back, so the IC's got to come back. Give these guys something to fight for. And it's going to be Chris Jericho, Christian, DDP, Scott Steiner, and Rhino in that match. RVD would have been in it, but he had to get suspended. So it's a B-76 for that announcement. After this, of course, Kane is going to the back. He's celebrating he's won, but Mark Henry comes down and he beats the crap out of Kane. Standard Hall of Pain, getting him over. B78. Kane, I feel like if he gets a lot of defeats to Mark Henry or even a lot of knockdowns, can still build him up. Mark Henry, as I say, working with someone like Kane, can hopefully only improve him. So B78 there. These two will clash at WrestleMania. I know it's a rematch from No Way Out, but we really need to work with Mark Henry, and these kind of matches should help him. And then our main event match, the 10-man tag. Good matchup, saw the babyface team of Booker T, Goldust, Shawn Michaels, Scott Steiner, Rhino defeat Batista, Randy Orton, Triple H, Ric Flair, and Chief Morley, who joined them in 1929 when Rhino defeated Chief Morley with a goer. B82, pretty solid. Shawn Michaels came out of it looking good, Goldust off his game. Michaels with a far better performance, him and Triple H. There's a mix and match of all types of in-ring performances there. But overall, Batista improves Rumble skills. There'll be a lot of positives and negatives, but it really was a case of having a good matchup to get everyone on the last draw before Mania. End the show, Rock and Austin. Vince McMahon gets them to sign it. Verbal beatdowns on both guys, Rock calls Austin a jabroni, you know. Austin does his whole what shtick. It's hyping. You really don't need to explain this segment. It's The Rock versus Austin, match 3, Icon versus Icon, Legend versus Legend. The two guys that defined the Attitude Era, and they're going to go one-on-one for the final time, possibly, because we don't know how their careers might pan out. Does Austin retire after this? Does The Rock go back to Hollywood? I don't know how the mod works, so who knows. One thing I will confirm, I don't know if Goldberg signed, so he won't be attacking The Rock, after WrestleMania. But I haven't decided who wins. Does Austin go 3-0? We'll find out. But A100 in the show, EP26 improving our popularity in 20 regions. So all positives there, and that should lead up to a very good Raw side of things from WrestleMania. So if you're looking to do your predictions, just to confirm, it is going to be The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. We're going to have the WWE World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Shawn Michaels challenges Triple H. The Intercontinental title is in a 5-way match. It's between Chris Jericho, Christian, Scott Steiner, Rhino, and Diamond Dallas Page. Mark Henry will take on Kane. Booker T and Goldust will take on Batista, Randy Orton. At the moment, I will not say Ric Flair, but he'll be managing, but he may make it a 3v2. Still be decided who wins and participates in that match. We've also got, as I say, potentially the women's match. We'll find out about that shortly. And triple threat match for the Tag Team Championships. It is going to be William Regal and Lance Storm defending them against the Dudleys in 3-minute warning. So we'll click onto this show because of this next screen anyway, to see the extent of this Trish injury and where we go from here. So let's have a look. It's going to sideline her. But how long is she going to be out for? And great. Can I send them to rehab? So Scott Steiner suspended. So well, there you go. Scott Steiner is out of WrestleMania. And yeah, it's going to be a fatal 4-way then. It's going to be Christian, Chris Jericho, Diamond Dallas Page, and Rhino. So let's have a look. 32 days, so Trish will be out of the match. Leave that with me because I'll need to see who's on the babyface side. I might need to even scrap a women's championship match. We'll have a look and see what we can do. Randy Orton doesn't know how to work the crowd. Ric Flair wants him fired. What? He's supposed to be helping him get better. And DDP says Test come up with WWE style. I jobbed the kid out. Oh well. I like going against these kind of opinions because then I like to prove these workers wrong. But yeah, so that's been quite an interesting final show for Raw. Injuries have messed up WrestleMania plans. Suspensions have altered WrestleMania plans. Let's find out if SmackDown is going to be easy or if it's going to have some chaos to throw us off before Mania. Well guys, now on to the SmackDown side of things, the go-home show before WrestleMania 19. We're in the Verizon Centre with nearly 16,000 fans, and we are hyping this one up big style. We've got The Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, Los Guerreros, Kurt Angle and Team Angle, and a Big Show in the ring for one big talk segment, I suppose. They're all kind of try to get the one-upmanship before we get to WrestleMania. As of course we've got a couple of feuds here, which is of course Los Guerreros, Team Angle. Brock Lesnar, of course, is in a feud with the Big Show, and of course that WWE Championship match, Kurt Angle defends against Undertaker. So hyping up, this will also be our main event, an 8-man tag. It's a B+83. Lesnar enjoying going off script. Chavo Guerrero struggled. So look, Kurt improvised well, so did the Big Show. Shelton and Charlie Haas were poor as to be expected. But you hope being a part of these kind of segments helps them gain a bit of overness and hopefully develop a bit of a character set. So a couple of guys come out of it looking great, some looking poor, but overall storylines advance, some gain heat with this segment. Opening contest was a decent matchup. It was a cruiserweight showcase. The team of Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio defeating Mattitude version 1, Matt Hardy and Shannon Moore in 10:44. When Rey Mysterio defeated Shannon with a 619. B-71, very good opener. Makes Rey look like he could be the favourite going into the cruiserweight match. Gets Kidman some momentum. Shannon's quite happy to take the pinfall here, and it kind of protects Matt Hardy in that regard as well. So looking forward to that cruiserweight matchup. That is, of course, going to be Billy Kidman, Rey Mysterio, Matt Hardy, Jamie Noble, Nunzio, and at this moment in time, I believe the 6th man is going to be Tajiri. So what should be a very interesting cruiserweight match. After the matchup, frustrated Matt Hardy says this was just a mistake, a blip because of Shannon, and he is going to be the man that captures the Cruiserweight Championship at WrestleMania. So gets the crowd hotter, storyline gains heat to a solid B77 rating. Up next, we've got Brock Lesnar and Hulk Hogan just confirming that they will be allies this Sunday as they take on the A-Train and the Big Show. Brock said if Hulk needs him, he's got his back, vice versa, but it's just confirming that these two are going to be together. So a B+86, Hogan comes across well, the Team Heyman storyline, advancing and gaining a bit of heat, of course. That is the Big Show and the A-Train. Next up, we have the A-Train in action. It's an extremely short match to get our eye candy. Not the A-Train in this instance, but Don Marie and the A-Train defeat Tori Wilson and Canyon in 5:18 when the A-Train defeats Canyon with the derailer, C-57. I always thought Canyon was a decent worker, never really got a chance in the WWE, but he does his job here by putting the A-Train over, and our other two ladies are there, as I say, because we need the attractive women on the show, and it saves us for doing a brand panties or a bikini contest or whatever. So a few negatives there, but again, the women's division on SmackDown is a very long way away. Hype video then for the full-bodied Italians. Nunzio is obviously hyping up his chances at WrestleMania for the Cruiserweight Championship, but expect a big push post-WrestleMania for the FBI. And Nunzio just shows that his claims are right, he's legit. Defeats Funaki in 8:39, illegally using the ropes for leverage in a D44 match. Needing to build him up, so it did cool the crowd a little bit because both guys aren't very over. Worker improvements, Funaki improves performance skills, storytelling match, so it does its job in the middle of the card. Next up, we had a throwback to the late 80s. We had former rivals collide as a match with good heat and decent wrestling saw Hulk Hogan defeat the Big Show, the Big Boss Man, in 8:55 with atomic leg drop. C65, obviously they wouldn't be able to move as swiftly as they did back in the day, but good match up there, as I say, does its job. Hogan comes across looking well. It did suffer from a lack of selling, which is understandable. It seems to be the case in most Hogan matches. That is a negative. Hogan's stamina and declining physical ability. Quite a few negatives there, but Hulk still rules. After the matchup, A-Train comes down to try and beat up Hogan, but Hogan holds his own, and the two of these brawl to the back. Big Show obviously not involved because he has that matchup later tonight. So hyping up that match at WrestleMania, and that got a B80 with A-Train performing poorly. John Cena hypes up his match coming up next against Chris Benoit. Of course, the US title will be on the line at WrestleMania. John Cena in one corner, Chris Benoit in the other, Edge in between. And he just says, this is just a precursor to what's going to happen at WrestleMania. He's going to walk out as the new United States champion. So B+87 gets the crowd hotter and builds up this feud. Match itself will happen in a second after Edge does color commentary, as you do to continue the feud. C+70. Match itself, pretty standard, pretty good. Superb matchup. Benoit defeating Cena in 14:37 by pinfall. Probably should have made that a submission victory, but as what it is, Benoit and Cena, both good performances there. Hopefully Benoit can be someone that helps elevate John Cena. Storyline advances, John Cena improves in the technical skill department. Just a few negatives there. John Cena overwhelmed by his manager, of course, Big Boss Man and B-Squared, who would be accompanying him to the ring. And after the match, Benoit gets attacked by John Cena, but Edge comes in, saves Benoit from the color commentary position. B79. Saved him tonight, but will he save him at WrestleMania? Highly unlikely, but the storyline advances. Decent co-main event, and a matchup that should do pretty well, given time it'll get at WrestleMania. Quick promo with Kurt Angle, just, he's obviously knows Undertaker hasn't lost at WrestleMania, but he says he's going to be the man. Not only beat the Undertaker up, but he's also going to make him tap. One of the first people to make the Undertaker tap out. So A91, storyline advances, gaining some heat. In our main event, E79, not too bad considering the time on it. Good matchup. Taker, Lesnar and Los Guerreros defeat the Big Show, Kurt Angle and Team Angle in 13:55 when Brock Lesnar defeats a former foe, Shelton Benjamin, with the F5 weak link, Charlie Haas. A long way to go with building up Charlie Haas, but a lot of good performances there. Eddie 77, Brock and Taker in the 90s, Kurt Angle in the 90s as well. Big Show just short of that, but advances a lot of storylines, gets a lot of skill improvements, which is good to see as well. And yeah, overall, pretty decent main event. Ends the show, B82, that's exactly what you want. Increases our pop in 15 regions, and as I say, we just keep growing and growing as a company, and hopefully, post WrestleMania, as I say, we can take the company to the next level. So, just to confirm, the SmackDown side of things, you've got The Undertaker versus Kurt Angle for the WWE Championship. You've got Hulk Hogan and Brock Lesnar against the A-Train and the Big Show. You've got Edge versus Benoit versus Cena for the United States Championship. Tag team titles are on the line as Los Guerreros defend against Team Angle. The Cruiserweight Championship Open Challenge is going to see Nunzio, Billy Kidman, champion in that, Rey Mysterio, Matt Hardy, Tajiri, and somebody else, Jamie Noble. Might make Jamie Noble win because I forgot him there. But still, a stellar card would include what's included in the Raw side of things. And I'm really intrigued to see how I can book a previous WrestleMania and hopefully deliver. So let's see here, with victory for The Undertaker. Best overall worker. I'm pretty sure a lot of people were doubting him in 2003, but they've played him in game. That's good to see. Benoit, please don't ruin the WrestleMania plans. Identifies as steroid user. We can't send him to rehab. He's already been suspended once. I'm going to fine him. This time I need him for WrestleMania. If he keeps this up, I'm probably going to fire him. So we'll let it slide. I'm sure WWE, obviously done with Jeff Hardy, would just suspend him, and if he misses Mania, tough. But we'll see what we do at WrestleMania. I've added in a live band, not the biggest live band, but still something that should hopefully get the rating up. But yeah, hopefully we'll have a good show for Mania. So cheers for watching, much appreciated. Let me know your predictions for WrestleMania, your thoughts in the series so far. If you're booking WWE yourself, let us know how you're getting on. As always, like, shares, comments, all deeply appreciated. Don't need to be a bit massive. Also, let us know how you guys are getting on. But cheers for watching. Hopefully I'll see you next week for WrestleMania 19. Bye bye.